What is going on, guys? We are back in the shop. I hope you guys are having an amazing day. Today we're going to be working on the Eclipse again. So in the last episode you saw me installing this rainbow spoiler on it, and it looks fucking good. Also in the last episode, I forgot, we got another thing crossed off on the list. So with that being said, there are a few other things that we have to do. As you guys can see, next to the spoiler was the quarter panel and the hatch bodywork. So this is what I'm talking about with that. There are a few little spots that I have to actually fix. The whole hatch is pretty rusty. I have to sand that all off because this car was left outside for a good amount of time with all this bodywork done just because of like the stupid situation with the garage. So I'm gonna have to go ahead and sand that all and make sure that there's no rust left on it, and then get it primed so that no more will ever develop. So I'm gonna go ahead and start with this little dent right here. That little guy is kind of annoying because it is in a spot that I can't really reach from the inside. There's too much stuff in the way for me to be able to reach it comfortably, so I'm gonna find another way to do it. So I'll show you guys what we're looking at as far as the dent goes. It's not too big. Honestly, I could probably just use body filler on it, but I kind of want to get the metal a little straighter first, especially there. You can see there's a good little gap. So I'm gonna go ahead and work the metal a little bit and then use the filler and try to get it straight. Now, before I do start working on it, I'm gonna go ahead and pull the bumper because I am gonna be putting a little bit of heat there, so I don't want the plastic bumper to melt at all. So I'm gonna go ahead and pull that off. Now, like I said earlier, I can't actually get to the back side of this dent because of a bunch of other sheet metal in the way. Now that means that I have to get a little bit creative on how I'm gonna get that dent out. And that is where this comes in. This big old girl is a stud welder from Harbor Freight. This thing is gonna allow me to weld studs to the outside of the panel that I'm then gonna be able to use a slide hammer and get it all pulled out. So first thing I gotta do is grind off all of this paint because the studs will not stick to paint. They have to be stuck to bare metal. So I'm gonna go ahead and get my grinder out and get all the paint off of that. So I got my grinder, little flop wheel. Time to knock this paint down. Alright, now that I got my repair area sanded down, I can go ahead and start welding some studs. These are the thicker studs that come with the Harbor Freight stud gun. I use the thicker ones even on the thinner metal because these ones are the only ones that the slide hammer that comes with really likes to grab. The thinner ones just kind of slip out. So I'm using the big ones, but that means that I'm gonna have to actually cut them off of the body later instead of being able to twist them off because these will rip holes in the thinner sheet metal. So I'm gonna go ahead and get some studs put on it and we'll get to pulling. So I usually hit them until I can just start to see the yellow glow, and that's how I know that they're welded on there. Now that we've got studs welded on, we can use these to pull the dent out. That's gonna be a job for this guy. This is the slide hammer that just comes with the kit. Honestly, it works. Some people like to use bigger slide hammers, but I think that with Japanese cars, since they have such thin sheet metal, I don't really think it's that big of a deal, and using this one is perfectly fine. So I'm gonna go ahead, insert the stud into the tool, get that rolled over, and see right there, I can pull on the car. That's solid. So I'm just gonna go ahead and pull on it and get that dent pulled out. Just like that, you can see our gap is pretty much gone now. And we've gained back the curvature that we need in the panel. And it looks pretty good. It looks like we're ready to actually put some body filler on it and be done with the repair. So I'm gonna go ahead and cut these studs off with the grinder and get some body filler on it. Oh yeah, that's nice. Now that this is all completely pulled out, I'm gonna go ahead and hit it with some 80 grit on the DA. I'm kind of gonna feather this repair area out so we can get some body filler on it. Alright, so just like that, you don't really want to feel too much of a transition between paint and metal, and we pretty much got that now. So I'm going to go ahead and clean this up and we'll go ahead and mix some filler. So I'm going to go ahead and hit that with some wax and grease remover. That'll get all of the surface imperfections and everything off of there so that I can make sure that my filler will stay. So here we got our body filler. As you can see, we're gonna have to mix it up a little bit because the epoxies have started to settle a bit. So I'm gonna go ahead and just get a screwdriver in there and try to mix it without inducing too much air into it. I've got this board. It is a 3M disposable mixing board. So pretty much this has a bunch of little layers of paper that I can go ahead and mix the body filler on. And then when I'm done, I can just rip it off and get a new surface. So these are pretty fucking nice to have. I can't actually find this specific one on Amazon, but there are a bunch of others on Amazon that you can get. I will leave some links down in the description for you guys if you want to pick one of these up. They are awesome for doing this kind of stuff. We'll grab a good little glob of it. So now I'm gonna go ahead and get some hardener on it. Just a nice little line on it and mix that shit in. All right, now that it's one consistent color all around, start spreading. All right, so that's probably enough for this one. I'm gonna go ahead and hit a couple spots around the car and I'll be back to you guys. All right, now that I've given the Bondo ample time to harden, I'm gonna go ahead and hit it with 80 grit on a block. Alright, so I've got the body filler completely sanded down smooth. It really only took one very light coat to get it pretty much perfect. And you can see the area is completely nice and feathered out. So now I'm going to go ahead and finish sanding it with a nice 400 grit sandpaper just to get it nice and smooth. And then I'll be putting some of this etch primer on it just to make sure that all the bare metal surfaces don't rust anymore. Alright, so I got my entire repair area masked. Now I'm going to go ahead and get the primer shaken up so that I can spray it on the car. Alright, now that our repair is done, I can show you this. That's all the excess body filler we had on the board. And check this out. Grab a stop sheet. Brand new surface. And that can go in the trash. So we're done with that repair. I'm probably gonna be working on a few other ones off camera because you guys have already seen all this. But yeah, hope you guys like the video. If you do, make sure to hit the like button. If you guys are new, make sure to subscribe. We got plenty more content. And let's get this thing on the road. So I just got out of the doctor's office. I had to go in because my shoulder's been hurting quite a bit recently, and I had to go get it checked out. I literally went in, she like poked me in the shoulder a little bit, and she's like, oh yeah, just take some leave, and I'm like, cool. Thanks. I can't lift my arm, but like, yeah, just a leave. All right. So we just got out, and it's currently like 8:22 in the morning, and we got a pretty nice parking garage up there. You see that? I'm gonna see if I can sneak in and get some pictures. Okay. Nice. Let's get to the top of this bitch. I love parking garages because of the fucking noise. Oh, that's sick. Also, if you guys haven't realized, it is colder than dick in here. I think it's like, yeah, it says 36 degrees right now, dude. 36 fucking degrees. Why is that be so cold? Would you look at that, guys? It's my own TJ Hunt spot. That's not bad. That is not fucking bad.
Life is what you make it. I feel like I'm lazy. I can't see a way out. I've been stacking face down off canvases I painted. I just spent the rain day on drip I can't afford, but that's the price I pay for the memories I'm making. I've been going places. I've been shaking hands for a chance to really make